Welcome, everybody. My name is Albert Nerenberg. I'm a Laughologist, and I'm really honored today to have none other than the the 2025 World Laughing Champion, Kelly Podlubny, here today.
Hi, Albert. Thanks for having me.
when you're with the World Laughing Champion, you don't have to you don't even have to talk really.
True. No, not a lot of talking to be had at that competition, let me tell you that.
Mhm. So, for people that may not understand how you become World Laughing Champion, I should explain. I'm the co-host of the World Laughing Championship, and though we don't decide who wins, we kind of witness it all, the voting, and it's judged, of course, on who has the most contagious laugh in various contests. So it's not just that you are contagious at one point; you gotta keep it up. And I should point out too that you also won the Canadian Laughing. The way you got to the World Laughing Championship is via the Canadian Laughing Championship. Is that correct?
It is correct, yeah. So with the Canadian Laughing Championship, I had to send in a very serious audition video with me doing my best laugh. And that panel of judges decided which audition videos were going to make it into the Canadian National Championships. And apparently mine was one of them. So next thing I knew, a few days later, there I was competing against some other folks from Canada to see who had the most contagious laugh in our country.
What is it like? Like, just to give a feeling, what was it like to be in a laughing contest? Like, what people don't like. A lot of people are like, I've never been in a laughing contest before. What does it feel like?
That's a great question. um, it felt strange at first, mainly because I've been sort of harnessing a laughter practice for the last 9 years, and then all of a sudden I'm being asked to compete with my laughter with other folks, and so I'm thinking, well, this feels strange and unusual, but I'm going to give it a shot. So I just went straight into my heart and I pulled out what my favorite laughs are. I'm not here. I'm not worried or concerned. I'm not present to be judged, as it were, even though I guess I technically am being judged. But I wasn't doing with the idea that I was being judged for anything. I was just bringing out what comes naturally.
And was it fun? Is it fun to be in a laughing championship?
Oh, it's hilarious. I mean, it is a laughing championship after all.
It's like they never because in other places you get in trouble for laughing. Here it's like, okay, yeah, I know.
Yeah, being encouraged to do it, but it was great experiencing people from all over the country. That I always love to see how other people laugh, how they bring joy into their lives. And so just watching how other people did it really brought me that extra joy that I needed to sort of push me over that laughter edge, as it were, to win the competition, right? So it was definitely the other people that
So
really helped.
So one thing I think people would wonder is, where did you get your laugh? And I was surprised to learn that you are kind of known, or maybe not famously, but you're kind of known as you're a bus driver, and you are kind of known as a laughing bus driver. You drive a bus in Vancouver, is that correct? Is it the same route or is it different routes?
I try to stick to the same route schedule for month after month because I like routine that way. I like to know where all the bumps in the roads are. I like to know my passengers. I like to know people. And so if I'm doing something different every day, I don't have the chance to get to know people.
Why are you the laughing bus driver then?
Well, typically because when people get on, I have an ear-to-ear grin and I greet them with the best hello that I can. And quite often, I might even start laughing when somebody has a question for me. That's kind of my first reaction, is just to sort of not laugh at them, but just sort of laugh, with myself.
Yeah.
Just, and it's always, I start with a bit of a giggle. And I say, that's a great question. I'd be happy to answer anything that
So when people get on your bus, they sometimes ask you like, "Does this bus go to such a place?" And then you start laughing.
Sometimes it depends where they're going.
Yeah,
If they need to go to, like, let's say the hospital, no, I might not start laughing.
laughing.
But if they're going to one of the amazing tourist destinations that are in Vancouver, I definitely will give it that little edge of giggling, because chances are they're on holidays, and I think for them to be able to experience, the best that I can be, it might help their holiday out a little bit. Right?
And
Might,
and is
might
it
make
something that you just started doing because it's a more cheer? So just so I understand, it's like people who get on your bus will notice that the bus driver is kind of a jolly character and who laughs, kind of laughs partly down the road, like there goes the bus laughing down the road. Is that fair to say?
I think so. Yeah, absolutely. And I get to hear quite frequently, multiple times a day, is, "Wow, you're so happy," and, "Oh, what a nice bus driver you are," and I figure, well, why not just keep doing it? Because if it makes other people's day better, then, as it turns out, that makes my day better as well, right? So why
Yeah.
not why not just utilize the laughter for as much good as I can?
So with my experience, for sorry, with exceptional laughers such as yourself, there's usually a story. There's a place where they got it from. Where did you get your laugh from? Where does it come from?
Well, I really appreciate you asking that, because whenever I'm laughing, I think about my father. And my dad, he was a he was a jolly soul. He was a larger individual. He often played Santa Claus at Christmas parties, and so I would always get to go with him to watch him play Santa, especially for a bunch of little kids, and really
Was
that
it
just showed.
was he a
Sorry.
compelling Santa Claus? Like he really looked the part?
He was a very compelling Santa Claus. In the beginning he had a wool beard, but as he aged into getting a little bit more silver, um, he was able to grow his own. And once you have a real beard, you can't be more compelling.
So he was really a compelling Santa Claus, and he had this jolly laugh, and you remember that as a kid growing up with your dad, he was like had this laugh.
Yeah, yeah, he had a great laugh. And my dad used to do this thing where he would laugh to the point where his eyes would disappear, and then he would go completely straight faced, like nothing ever even happened, and then he would go back into laughter again. And when he would do that, that would get me and everyone else around us just laughing so hard. And I mean, I can demonstrate for you because I have the same gift he
Yeah.
did.
Say
So
what you mean. He would laugh so hard that his eyes would disappear. I don't.
his eyes were
Ah,
completely shut.
yeah,
But this is let me show you the process
sure,
here really quickly on
sure.
what my dad would. So he would start laughing.
Hey, that laugh should.
But then he would go like with a grumpy face, and he could go from laughter to grumpy face like instantaneously. And that was one of the funniest things, just the way he did that. Really, that's when the contagiousness really started. Was when he would do that maneuver, as I like to call it.
So you really feel like your dad was where you got your laugh from your dad. And I should mention that your dad he's no longer with us. Um,
Right.
but it's nice. Is it nice to feel that you're kind of channeling your dad a bit in some of this, that he's part of this? Is that fair?
Absolutely, that's very fair. I mean, he's definitely part of my laughter journey, because that's my origin story. That's where I came from. I came from somebody that had an exceptional sense of humor. And because of his sense of humor, he would attract people from every walk of life. He's a very popular person, at his work and in his personal life, just because of the joy that he was able to emulate with such ease. And
Is it?
so,
It's a funny thing. It's like it's interesting that there's this cliche of rotund, jolly people, but not all rotund people are jolly, and not all jolly people are rotund. So, but it is a thing.
that's a fair assessment. So I think what that would sort of lead me to think is that, yeah, when he was kind of living his life, he had a lot of challenges. Some mobility challenges, of course, later in life, and so I think quite often that we get our best laughter if we're able to laugh at challenges that we have. I've gone through my own challenges as well, and I've come through the other and just laughing my heart out, because that to me is the best way to cope when things are getting a little bit.
Yeah. It is interesting how laughter, yeah, they said laughter, it's catharsis. Laughter and crying are these cathartic states that we need to move through things. When we don't laugh, we don't cry, we sometimes stay stuck. Um,
Right.
and it's true. Look at your life last little while. It's like a lot has, like, you've laughed yourself into different places. You're like, hey, I laughed myself at the Canadian Laughing Championship. I laughed myself at the World Laughing Championship. Laughing myself on TV. Laughing on the
Mhm.
radio. It's like.
It does feel nice to be recognized for something like laughter, because I'm sure there's other things that I could be recognized for, but I don't want to talk about those here.
Right. But so so now I guess people are probably very curious. People want to know what does the media ask you when media people get you on the air? What do they ask you?
Oh gosh, so they ask me a lot of the same similar questions that you have. They always want me to produce my best lap,
Yeah,
which I'm more than happy to comply with, because that is so easy to do.
yeah.
You know, super super easy, and because it's not forced. And if I'm not forcing it, then just like I said, it comes super easy to me just let it out and do my best contagious lap, because it's me. It's who I am.
What people ask, they often mention that you won the championship finale was the self laugh, the notorious laugh, where the idea is to laugh at yourself, but it's a double-edged sword. You got to be good at laughing, but you also got to be willing to laugh at at your existence, um so uh what would you say that what does it take to be able to laugh at yourself?
Uh, that's a great question. You know, I spent a lot of my life beating myself up over things. If I make a small mistake at work, if I give somebody like the wrong directions, or if I accidentally get too close to closing somebody in a door, I will just beat myself up for minutes and minutes and minutes after the event. And just like, it finally dawned on me, why am I doing this? Why am I being so hard on myself, right? So when I realized that it's completely unnecessary to be hard on myself for silly mistakes, because nobody got hurt, there's nothing, nothing major came of it. And so once I realized to start just, letting that kind of stuff go and learn to laugh it off, that's when it really, kind of clicked for me, that I can just, you know, just laugh something out instead of beat myself up, because that doesn't do me.
um so you've learned to laugh it off or laugh through a lot of things that are and it's interesting we were just talking about that thing of many of us do that. We harden ourselves when we make a mistake, which produces like a lot of energy that's probably painful, and that you're needing to let that go, and you're not going to maybe cry, but you can maybe laugh. And also I guess I just find we in life we're always pretending we kind of know what's going on, what's happening, how things work, stuff like that, and then to accept that you don't know what's going on half the time. You're kind of improvising your way through the world, and you got to laugh about it. You know.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And I like how you said improvising your way through the world, right? Because yeah, I mean, there's no other way to really put it. Like, I don't know what tomorrow will bring, or what challenges I might have,
Yeah.
or what joy I might experience, or tomorrow is not determined. So yeah, that's very well said.
Maybe last question. Do you find has it made you happier to be World Laughing Champion?
You know, that that is that is an excellent question, because the truth is, I think I was just as happy coming. I really was, and I don't really feel any happier. Maybe the ego's a bit bigger, and So I would like to say that I'm just as happy as I was before, except now I have a trophy.
Right. And it's kind of like it's a license to laugh. Like that.
It really is.
It's a license to laugh.
Yeah. I mean, yesterday at work, because of the media story that I was on Thursday night, I had 3 different people come up to me and go, "Hey, I saw you on the news last night. Can I get a selfie? Can I get a picture with you?" And I'm thinking, "Oh, okay, so this is happening now." So I put on my best happy face, and we take a photo together. And I thought that was really neat.
Yeah. It's a feel-good story. It is a good thing. Let me sum up by saying it's a beautiful story. Your dad, who unfortunately passed away, is still with us. Sharing joy is, with you, through you, which is like a beautiful thing. And you're cheering people up on your on the bus, and people just like the idea of you, this guy, laughing bus driver, winning the World Laughing Championship. I like the idea of
that. And the best part about this, especially at work, in my workplace, this is kind of one of the first times that I heard my boss laugh.
Oh.
So it's really working.
Oh. Yeah, contagious.
It really is.
Yeah.
So he's not really the laughing type,
Okay.
but to talk with him, it's been absolutely a pleasure.
Yeah. Good
to see that. Oh my goodness! Now I get to feel joy as well, because you're bringing the joy to the workplace. Oh, anyway.
Yeah. Getting behind it. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much. It was great talking to you. I'm talking to the World Laughing Champion. Congratulations. And I really like that. Hopefully it'll turn into further adventures, or you're going to laugh yourself somewhere else new entirely.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate your time today, Albert. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Great talking to you.
You as well.